Hello guys, what's up? Your boy Leon's here, and guys, I have an amazing topic to talk about, an amazing ideal, and it's about Hearthstone. So I hope you guys can sit back, relax, and enjoy some Hearthstone ideals. Okay, so to start off, Hearthstone needs a testing ground, or at least a Tinker's Workshop, I'm gonna call it, where fan-created cards can go. Sounds pretty good. I'll explain what Tinker's Workshop would be. Tinker's Workshop, you would be able to create and play test cards against yourself, control everything from other cards you have in hand to starting mana and so on. So basically it'd be like a workshop that Steam has. For the most part, I think it'd be a pretty good idea. There'd be some rules, of course. I haven't really worked out all the rules, but the first two rules are no legendaries and no choosing rarities. That way you can't create your own legendary cards, and the rarity you can't assign because I'll let Blizzard do that. So once a month, you could start with a fan-made ladder. It would be in Wild without the addition, but with the addition of 50 to 100 fan-made cards. It all depends. This would start the game's testing period. So we're going to kind of try to explain the testing period and what's going to all happen in this 1 month testing period ideal. It could be 2 months, but we're going to do 1 month, okay? Week 1 will allow players to play alone in testing, where players will play against themselves or with friends, testing out the game mechanics. This would be similar to the Tinker's Workshop, except these cards will be selected by Blizzard. So the Tinker's Workshop lets you create tons of cards, submitted, they'd be in the workshop, people could play with them, do what they want, but the actual testing period of week 1 would be just like Tinker's Workshop, except for these are 50 to 100 cards that Blizzard has selected themselves, has given green light to, has said go ahead, put that in development, let's see how this works out, let's look at it, okay? It's still an initial phase, it's nothing official, it can't be played in any kind of rank, it's still a casual side type mode, and you're playing against yourself, so it's kind of like a solo adventure in that sense, okay? By week 2, you'd be simple matches between players, and then you can leave comments after the matches, leave reviews, and Blizz team, as well as the creator of the cards, will review them. So you're looking at, friendly matches, or just matches against cute players, testing cards out, having decks with some custom cards in it, seeing what kind of combos work, what kind of combos don't work, what kind of playstyles work, what kind of classes benefit from these effects, and so on. Week 3 will be more or less the same, but now having Blizzard directly tweaking the cards and even removing some that have been deemed OP or too powerful, as well as assigning rarity for the cards. These cards would still be playable and enter the possible join the extension pack. Okay, so this is week 3 is where the meat of the thing comes. Week 3 is where a big portion of this entire idea comes. Extension packs are an ever-growing list of cards for the fans, and even maybe the devs, that would rotate yearly as well as renew. Therefore, cards for the Year of the Raven would not be standard for the next year, as well as cards you could have gotten during the Year of the Raven would now only be craftable, and extension packs would no longer carry these cards. The goal would be to be able to add up 300 plus cards a year to the meta. If we test monthly, and out of 100 starting cards a month, allow 25 to 30 cards, in a 10-month period, you have 300 cards. Of course, Blizzard would still individually make card extensions exclusively, meaning they may never become part of standard format. What I'm saying is, basically, I know it's a lot to say, but basically, you're looking at every month, 100 cards roughly get looked at, 25 to 30 of them make it, and then you make an extension pack. And in that extension pack, you can only pay gold for, which I'm pretty sure I have that explained later on. You only pay gold for it, and it basically can become part of the meta. You can actually play with it. So then we'll move on to week 4. Week 4, which is going to be where the extension pack really takes full effect, is the final week where Blizzard would officially add the cards to the extension pack and make them playable competitively while still monitoring them as the month officially starts. This way, each month's ladder would become harder, yes, but it would also keep the game fresh. EX packs, as I'm going to call them, would only be purchasable with gold, and as a reward to the creator of the cards that were received and accepted, and Blizzard allowed to be a part of the meta, they would officially receive golden copies of their card. That way, not only were you only able to tell that they created them, but they could show off like, hey, I'm the creator, I have a golden copy, I'm the only person with a golden copy. They would also have 400 gold, 2 XE packs, and that way they can show off and can use the gold freely for what they want. So going into month 1 with new cards will be quite interesting, as the ladders would have both pros and cons, have pros and new players. I mean, to say playtesting and still being able to give feedback to the devs and the fans will work on to achieve higher results, as well as the start of next month with new cards going into the weekly process. Now, admittedly, this process could be turning into a 2-month cycle, but it all depends. Sometimes the cards may be still running for longer than a month. Sometimes the cards might not make it. It all depends on the feedbacks and how the devs feel. I personally would love to play a part in this and help solely in this department if Blizzard would help me and allow me the opportunity to do so. So going on from this point forward, I'll be personally dealing with the ideal on my own accord using heartcards.net as a place for me to see cards as well as do videos here and there or just comment on what I see could happen. If I could somehow get Fullest Games, the guy who was working on the Hearthstone mod, to help me with this idea, that'd be great. So let me know what you guys think about, how you feel about it, and we'll see how far it can go. That's pretty much the gist of it. I had to write it up as a script, guys. I'm terrible at doing that, but I kind of had to get these notes written down earlier today because I think it's a great idea. I think it could really become the next biggest thing, honestly. I mean, if we could somehow get Blizzard to allow us to have a workshop, a Tinker's Workshop, like I'm calling it, where we can create cards and actually impact the meta, we can keep the game freshly moving. So instead of just having expansions, and adventures, we'd have extension packs, I'm calling them, or EX packs extension from the long version, and we could keep the meta rolling. You could release new Murloc, new legendaries sooner or later, new spells, new weapons, maybe not class cards. And you can basically have Blizzard, actually look at these cards and go, hey, that'd be a good idea, and actually take it. Even though Blizzard has said before they don't want to necessarily pull from the community, I think at this point in Hearthstone's lifetime, its development, Hearthstone needs something extra. It needs that extra flair, and I think if you really join in the community 100% and let them do this, you'll make a better game overall. I mean, you're looking at 300 cards extra a year that you don't have to tweak. You don't have to make them. You just gotta tweak them. Maybe do some artwork if you want. And we'll be playtesting it. We as the players will be playtesting them. And some months maybe only 5 or 10 cards might make it. Those 5 or 10 cards might make it, and maybe the extension pack will have to hold off. Extension pack may have a requirement of a 50 card pool. But even then, you can always craft it with dust to get the card you want, but that still doesn't make the extension pack not necessary. When you have an extension pack, you get 5 cards, you might get some good stuff. Once they put the rarities on the cards, some of the cards you may or may not want, you can just disenchant. And I mean, it's just an ever-growing ideal that I think Blizzard could use, and that way they could have a better understanding of what the fans want. I mean, Blizzard could still buff it, could still nerf them, could still rotate them in the Hall of Fame. These cards will only be in standard for that year. They won't go into the next year, so you're looking at guaranteed changes. You're looking for a constant, consistent change. And I'm saying 300 plus cards only because you're looking at so many cards created a day, and 300 new cards a year, or over the course of a year, roughly, 30 cards a month, roughly again. It's beautiful. I mean, you could even, honestly, the first month, not even do the extension pack, just so the second month you can have 60 cards. And then they can still buy that pack of cards, because that extension pack pool of cards that we'll get will constantly grow until the year is up. And once it's over, it's over. So I think it'd be a good idea. Hope you guys enjoy. If you like the idea, leave a comment below, like, subscribe, share, do something, guys. I will definitely, like I said, be doing videos or some type of something to get some kind of light on this and show heartcards.net cards, get you guys some kind of exposure. And maybe Blizzard might contact your boy Leon and be like, okay, you're the head of this operation. That'd be great. Although I think that would be the hardest thing I could possibly do because I don't live in California. But regardless, guys, hope you guys liked it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the Hearthstone match. It is one of my worst Hearthstone matches in the background right now. Depending on how long this video is, it may still be playing. So I hope you guys enjoy. Until then, Leon will see you next time. God bless. Peace out. I love you guys. See you later.